This is Drop Tent Media Network.
We're dating.
What's up? Welcome to We're Dating.
We're dating. It's a podcast about sex and dating and relationships.
And like all of the stuff that you do with those things.
And cum.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about cum.
Maybe.
But
But first, let's not get premature. Let's introduce our guest for today is our good friend and fellow Philadelphia and national touring comedian. Why not? Rachel Fogletto.
Yay! Came, so.
All right, we're round two. Here we go.
Let's go.
what's your what is the thing where it's like where you have to go and you go again?
When you
Work?
come twice?
Yeah, where you come twice. It's the time between coming twice.
Oh, the refractory period.
Yeah,
It's called something?
Well, for men, it's called a refractory. It's when your dick goes down and then you got to give it some time before. So
It
that's
goes back
specific to penises. A
But what
refractory
if it
period.
doesn't? I've been with guys where it doesn't go down. It'll stay.
It'll stay
Yeah.
like good to go, but it's kind
Like
of
it might be a little
wonky.
Yes, it's possible. It
not
can
as
happen.
hard for a minute, but then it is hard.
Yeah, that's rare.
And then they.
That's your 20s.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know why I find the one. I mean, I guess I shouldn't I will complain about it because, like, because penetration is a lot.
Yeah.
So sometimes they're like, "Oh no, I could go again." I'm like, "Well, guess what? Like, I'm good." So I find the one.
I feel like such a thank you for saying that, because I always felt like I was an anomaly, because I'd be like, no, once is good for me, dude. Like, I just want to relax now.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
once I come, and if I come twice, it's like usually like one pretty much after the
Yeah.
even if there's a refractory period.
Yeah.
If I said that, like it will be within like a few minutes, but I feel like the men I've been with who can come to, it's like a whole production. It's like, okay, so you can stay hard, cool, but like you're still in. It's a lot to have somebody in you.
That don't
Yeah.
impress me much. So you can stay hard after you come.
Let's remake it.
Yeah, I was about to say. It was actually in one of the outtakes. She was like, I'm going to try this lyric.
My favorite move is this is what I do with my pot dealer is sometimes we'll have like really good sex, and the sex will be so good that while we're doing it, we'll go, wow, we're going to do this again. After we're done, we're going to do this again. We start talking a lot of shit during our first encounter. We go, oh my God, yeah, after we're done doing this, we're going to do this again. I'm going to do this even harder. And then we like come and then we're both like, oh, damn. Oh, damn. We're just dead.
My instinct to laugh at you the second that you were just like, oh, during sex, we're going to do it again. I'm just like, no, that never happens.
No, it never happens. We're just done. We're done.
I can't figure out who is getting the better deal here, like in the pot deal. Like,
Oh,
'cause you're
between
like,
me and my pot dealer.
yeah, like what?
Who's getting the better deal?
In my brain, I'm
Yeah.
just like, wait a second, because the exchange of like pot dealer to sex, I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's wholly symbiotic.
Wait,
It's
holy.
holy.
Like it just you went from pot dealer. I'm like, well, wait, where does the pot come in? Because like it went anyway. That's just maybe I'm a very transactional person. I'm like, wait, why are we here? Like, you know what I mean? Like when I go to a store, I'm like,
Yeah. Well, it's definitely part of weed smoking culture.
Yep.
Is that not when you go to the dispensary, I'm sure, but like in an old school culture,
you're
go
not
to
supposed to fuck them at the dispensary.
you go to your weed dealer's house and they smoke you up.
Yeah.
You smoke with your pot dealer as they are preparing, weighing out what you're going to go home with.
That's how you get a good deal.
That's what I never liked about buying pot in the wild before legalization, because I don't like when I go to the store, I don't like to talk to anybody. I just I don't want help unless I really, really need help. Like I just want to go down the aisle and look at all the labels, like wine.
There are aisles?
Yeah.
Where
and
do you go?
I'm talking about the wine store.
Oh,
Like, I was always like,
store with a fucking aisle.
No, it's stupid in PA. It's not. I was like, I just want to go to the store and buy pot, like I buy wine. And then when you could, I was so excited, but guess what? You can't. You have to fucking go in and you can't touch anything. And then people want to talk to you with a fucking iPad. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to fuck anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to go.
I just want to buy my 5 joints that are pre-rolled in a fancy little packet, and then feel like I spent money on something worthwhile. Wait, hold on.
Sure, coming is nice too, though. So
Yeah. I mean, it's a perk. You know, what do you?
Do you get
what
a
is it?
discount? I would
No, okay. Everybody asks me if I get a discount. No, I do not get a discount on the weed. He smokes me up, so that's free weed right there.
Okay.
And then we make each other come, and that's not. I mean, it's transactional, but it's not transactional. Right?
Everything is transactional.
And then I buy the weed.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, nobody really gets a deal out of it, I guess, because I'm still paying like full price for weed.
Okay.
And he's still giving away some of his weed, so that trade-off is still there. So yeah, I would say this exists outside of the business model. It's not. Yeah.
In my brain, I put them to
just one of the perks of independent business.
Right.
Small,
it's like when your
mom and
friends like
pop.
come to my show, and then you're like, absolutely, and they're like, I just really need you to buy tickets this time, and you go, oh yeah, of course. Okay.
Or it's like when comedians book each other on shows and don't pay each other. There was a lot of that, right? I mean, I've definitely partaken in a lot of.
God, there's
that
so
kind
much
of
of that.
trade.
I feel like
and nobody comes.
Ooh, yes. And what a learning experience that is.
Yeah.
Speaking of, that's today's theme is sex ed.
Good segue.
Anytime you learn something new.
Oh gosh,
Or maybe you didn't.
I'm always learning.
There you go.
I'm always learning too. I've recently found out that I am a squirter. I had never squirted before, and then the last 2 times I've had sex, it's just been a flood.
So is it like a projectile or a flood?
It's a flood.
So I have a flood, and I never was
Yeah.
told. It was like only like recent research. It's like, oh no, well, squirting, the female ejaculation, there's all different kinds of it. So I always pictured projectile,
Right. I always think it's like
like in porn. where
Yeah.
it's like
And apparently it's not pee, but it's not pee. It has traces of urea.
Well, it's no more not pee or pee than male ejaculate.
There you go.
I feel like a little kid talking about this. Just like
Sorry to go ahead. No, please.
Oh yeah, let's hear more about your flood.
Your...
No, there's nothing. No, I'm happy to learn what's coming out of me. That's what we all need to know. Sexual education has failed us in this country. I didn't know any of this.
True. And can I piggyback off of that?
Yes.
Because here's here's the learning experience that I did not have, that no one ever told me. And for years and years, I thought I was sick and wrong. And it's not about being gay. Here's the thing. I never, not once in my whole life have ever had a nocturnal emission.
Whoa.
How do you know, though?
Because I've never woken
wake
up
with
with crusty
evidence.
underwear.
Yeah.
I've never woken up with wet underwear.
What if it was a little cum?
I mean, okay. So I'll grant you, it's possible that over the years I have come a little bit. No. But to my knowledge, I have never. And here's where like the psychological aspect comes in, is that during sex ed, all of my younger years, we were told you're gonna have nocturnal emission. This happens to teenage boys. Eventually, it's gonna happen. Get ready, nocturnal emission.
Okay.
But I started masturbating so early. Like the first time I masturbated, it wasn't even like proper jizz that came out. It was like didn't know what it was. It was not proper jizz. And then after that, when I didn't have nocturnal emissions and I would not stop masturbating, I thought that I'd broken my dick, that I'd used it too soon, and that my cum would never be good to make a baby.
Oh,
Isn't that messed up?
that's such a
terrifying.
spiral. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So I want to did you ever do like the mindfulness where you talk to your younger self?
Oh no! So what I tell my like 12-year-old self, it's okay. You hump that pillow.
Yeah, exactly.
And it felt really weird.
Yeah.
That would have, yeah. I will say, I think the second I actually have that conversation with my younger self, I will cry. But it will start sexual immediately. I'll be like, yo, like, you're an innovator for that. How did you first masturbate? Were you like a person who like needed a thing, or was it all you?
So like intentionally masturbating?
Yeah.
Or okay, so probably when I figured out, so I didn't come proper until I was with I didn't come proper until I was with a person.
Go.
I had masturbated, but I didn't
Wow.
know, because until you come, you don't know what it feels. You're like, oh
Yeah.
no, it felt really good, but I didn't know the threshold. And then when I came, I was like, wait, that's what I can do?
Ooh.
But like, I think it was the probably not knowing I had ADD. I can't just use my hands. So like, then I went to like, I grew up in New Jersey, but then you like went over the bridge, you went to South Street, Condom Kingdom, got a vibrator. It looked like a hairbrush. And just do it. Just, yeah, I use the thing. I
Wow.
still prefer to use. Every once in a while, I can use my hand, but like then I'm like, it's my hands.
Interesting.
Then you still liked it. You were like, yeah, I can't. I first time I ever came was arm of a couch.
I've definitely
A lot like
humped
this one.
humped stuff, but I didn't know what I was doing.
How well, because the thing is, I would come and I would know immediately that I'd come, so I'd like be like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. But also, I was masturbating really young too, and I used to use the shower head. That's a classic from what I've heard about.
Yeah.
And like, I used to use the shower head, and it would gut to the point where it's just like, now I'm just hurting myself, and I would just be in pain.
Have you ever like made like I do this? I'll do this with like vibrators. Have you ever like made yourself come so many times that you're just like, does it hurt? Does it feel good? I don't know. Am I like, can I do one more?
Yo, can I have 2 more minutes? Can I have 1 minute?
I definitely masturbated myself sore. Definitely like where I was like, you know, my dick was like, you really want to do this again?
Oh my God. I've gotten to the point I've gotten to the point where it hurt, but like I think after I'm a lazy masturbator.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, no.
How can you
what
be
the
a
vibrator
lazy
for?
masturbator?
It's like I don't want to do anything.
I don't want to do anything. It's done. When it's done, it's done. It's very like utilitarian. I'm like, okay, now I've come. Let's go into the world. But yeah, I think it like took me. I had an ex buy a Hitachi wand or whatever.
Oh.
And I was never gonna buy it. And then actually when we broke up, he was like, I'm gonna keep the wand.
Oh.
And I was like,
for what?
I fucking know. I was like, why? And he was like, because I don't want to think about you using it. And I was like, what are you gonna do? Use it on other women? And he was like, no, I'd probably just throw it away. And I was like, well, you spent
That's
$30 on this.
Spiteful.
There's starving children in the world that don't have a Hitachi one.
I know. I thought it was very spiteful of him. And I was just like, listen, you're going to throw it away. That's just more waste into the environment, honestly. So you should just let me have it.
Did you win?
I did win.
Okay.
I won that argument.
I have all the.
He took a few of my plants, though.
I save all the sex toys until the battery runs out. Like once I'm not sad anymore, I'm like, we're using that.
I have never been a toy person. I have one butt plug that a lesbian friend got for me that was, I think I talked about this on one of our episodes. So my mom already knows this.
Okay.
She listens. My one lesbian friend got me a blue smiling dolphin butt plug.
What?
Yeah, a blue dolphin, and it had the little googly eyes and a smile.
What
so I was gonna-
episode?
so the face. So it's not the tail that sticks out; it's the face.
It's the whole dolphin is what goes in you. And I tried it once. Actually, I had a pretty good time, but then like I just didn't want to do it again because I've never felt sexually attracted to a whole dolphin to put it in me. So that's the only toy I've ever done.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah. So
Is
yeah,
it- oh, on the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Steve-O talked a lot about Ari giving us a little visual.
Oh, okay.
Which one is it?
Ooh.
It's
That's a shark.
it's
The shark is a little intimidating.
A shark plug.
a shark plug. Wait, hold on. Well, this is the thing about butt plugs for me is that I never liked things in my butt. It
I
feels
don't-
like pooping.
I
to
don't
me.
like things. It does. It feels like poop. I tried a butt plug and it freaked me out.
It's but like so many people are all about it. I wonder if I'm missing something.
So I felt the same way. And so what it is for me is like much more than a finger. Like I like the idea of it, but then once it's going in, something's going in, I'm just like, it hurts. One.
Yeah, I have a very educational experience at the art museum recently.
Oh, you little harlot.
I am a little harlot. We were in one of the
Like
exhibits.
a demonstration or
Oh,
like a
yes.
side
Speaking of sex
project.
ed.
No, it was like a thing where we were like standing there, like watching one of the like art films, you know, that they have in those little like dark rooms. And we're in the corner, and then all of a sudden, I just feel a hand start to caress my butt, and I was like, "Oh, cute!" And then it started to.
This was somebody you were
wander.
there with, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just wanna make sure.
No, the exhibit
There was some
itself.
random.
You were okay with it, whatever. That's cool, but just making sure.
Well, it's definitely a thing that I was sort of like, okay, and then I was like, oh, and then like I just no digit ever entered, but there was a moment where I was like, how do I say not loud enough for the other people in this room to hear, but like loud enough that he understands? Like, no, thanks.
That's what clenching. That's what clenching is.
Yes.
You're
Speak
so
the
right.
language of the clench.
Just, yeah, like the clench is the quick, like,
It's like, hey,
pause,
good.
stop.
Pressure good.
Oh,
Right.
Entry bad.
Right, right. Like I ate just like enough long ago.
Oh yeah, that's playing with fire.
Yeah.
And in a public space, that's a lot of risks, I feel.
Well, I think one of the things that I've like learned, I'm like, public, fine, public fun, but in public, no, there's
but-
too many variables.
But it needs to be, for me, something we're doing with preparation.
Yeah, with a plan involved.
Yeah.
And a map.
Mhm. And like a plan for like what I'm eating.
Right.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait.
Oh my gosh. The supplements.
Did
the
we-
fiber.
Hold on. Back to education. Because
Yes.
then we're gonna go down the road of butt stuff. And
Yeah.
that's
We've been down this road.
we have been. Okay, wait.
It's a very short road for me. but-
You went to Catholic school, right?
No, just for a year. I was
Okay.
a public school
Oh.
person.
Good
It was an
sex ed-
experiment.
didn't work for you.
That wasn't for me.
Good sex ed teacher, bad sex ed teacher.
Catholic school, it was, well, that's the funny thing. So I had just come from public school in 8th grade where we had good sex education. And then I had my freshman year at a Catholic school where the sex education was taught by a nun who used
Ooh.
puppets. And
Oh.
then like the kids,
Like
What do the puppets
cutesy
do?
ones.
I think it was a video with puppets now
Oh.
that I think about it. But like the kids would ask questions and I would know how to answer more of them just from the sex that I had in public school, not because I was sexually active yet. Like, you know. Yeah, no, in public school it was good.
Yeah.
We learned about the clitoris. I mean, apparently people don't learn
Whoa.
about that.
Not everybody
Really?
does in
Wow.
public school.
Mhm.
That's good. I wouldn't. Okay, what about was sex ed teacher good bad or sex ed good bad?
Well, we had sex ed. They split us up in the 5th grade
Yeah, they did
into
that.
boys and girls
Ooh.
and showed us a movie. And that's when I learned that I would be getting armpit hair and pubes and the nocturnal emission thing. And I think that was
That
the
never
extent of it.
happened.
That never happened.
Honestly, are you upset that you've never had a nocturnal emission?
Kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of
Kind of,
fun.
yeah.
I think maybe you have.
Have you nocturnal?
You have a Fitbit.
A Fitbit will tell me if I
I
came
don't
in
know.
my
You might be
sleep.
able to figure it out.
I think
Some
somebody should
metric.
get on that. That's a genius idea. If nobody has.
Sometimes I'll see my heart rate spike up in the middle of it. Just vibrated now, so I wonder if I got excited. I know I've had wet dreams.
You've come in your sleep?
I have.
I have too.
Because I've woken up out of
Yeah.
a sex dream and I felt like I came in the dream, and then I woke up and I was clearly covered in cum.
I would wake up with a.
Wow.
And I could feel it,
Yeah.
you know, the tingly
Jealous.
after feeling. And I was like, so in my dreams, I can come with my mind. That's pretty cool. But like in
reality.
yeah, it's a
What
little
were
bit
your
harder.
dreams about? I hated.
I was
my
having
dreams.
sex with somebody.
Oh, okay. Pretty
Oh.
straightforward.
I hated my dreams. My dreams were too psychological. Almost all of my sex dreams that I've had have been me having sex with a parent.
Oh God.
So
Oh,
mine have not been
that's rough.
that conflicting, but they're almost always weird. Like a person
Yeah.
that I'm like, sometimes it's somebody that I'm horrified by, but sometimes it's somebody that's just like weird that I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't.
I'm not sexually attracted to this person at
Yeah,
all.
it's-
How did this become the thing?
And then it's
Interesting.
weird. I'm like,
I do want
did
to
they
also.
do it? Are they like psychic? Did they just have sex with me?
I want to just double back and let people know I'm not sexually attracted to my parents.
Okay,
Oh,
no,
I
sure. This
just-
is just
so
your
sex
brain is coming up
dreams-
with stuff.
Are rarely about that. So it's usually like whatever quality in the parent. It might be something you feel like you're
Interesting, because
embracing.
I had only one
or-
with my mom, and that was a weird one. Because the ones with my dad, I'm like, well, he's a man. I'm generally attracted to
It's how you
men.
feel. So when you wake up, right, how you felt is uncomfortable as it might be, but like how you felt, and then it'll when you write it out, you'll be like, oh, that's why.
Well, because my mom and my dad are such polar opposite people.
Hmm.
Like my dad is like the secure, stable, always there guy, and my mom is like the fun, adventuresome, artistic one, but
Ooh.
like not reliable whatsoever. And my dad is not fun. And so I don't know what it was going on in my life when I had the mom sex dream, but I remember waking up and being like, that was new.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Interesting.
It could mean that you were maybe embracing the qualities of your mom. like in some way, or maybe you have a partner that like has qualities that are similar. I'm telling you, when you write it out, it'll be obvious. It's so bizarre.
It's gonna. Oh no. Yeah, I think maybe I should. Next time I have a sex dream about my
You
parents,
gotta do it right when you wake up.
It's luckily been a while. I guess what I'm saying is that it might be good you don't have sex dreams.
Well, I do, but they're weird. They're also weirdly psychological. Like my most memorable sex dream was like my penis came out. I'm sorry, I'm getting very technical now. My penis, my male member.
When you said penis, I was like, oh.
When you say it came out,
My pecker, like yeah, like I got it out. Like I was gonna have sex with somebody.
Okay.
I think it was like a parking lot of a grocery store. Anyway, so but like as soon as like my dick came out, it turned into these segmented Legos and just floated off into space. I can never have like a proper sex dream.
you're
like,
losing a part of yourself.
yeah, maybe that.
Ooh.
But like I'll tell you what, like I have like
good.
extremely vivid dreams about losing my teeth. I have a recurring
common.
nightmare where
That's
my teeth,
a-
yes. And in my dream, I'll go, this is a dream. This isn't really happening. And to prove myself that it's not a dream, I'm gonna lick my teeth.
You're licking your teeth to
This is a
see
little
if
cum
it...
load from before. Sorry.
Wait, did you swallow cum recently?
No, I wish.
I was like, let's talk about it.
Tasty, tasty cum. I love it.
That feels like a sound bite.
I don't
That's
think
what guys
I
like to
ever
hear.
liked the taste of cum.
Give me.
Have you ever enjoyed the taste of cum? Anyway,
No, it makes
It's
So-
you know what's fun about it? It's the again we talk about the psychological, the spiritual, the idea of seed, not in like a disgusting way. Before it becomes disgusting, seed, literal seed, the bringer of life. It's such a major thing, and I think for me when I. I'm like taking on their energy, their masculinity, their life essence. So the act of coming is like to me what I want to capture.
Yeah.
And my little expression, and you can put it on the bumper sticker. We'll put on some coasters maybe. Is that cum is only hot when it's literally hot. Like it's psychologically hot while it is still hot to the touch. As soon as it gets cold and gelatinous, the moment is.
the moment's
Done.
gone.
That's why like swallowing is best because it's like you don't have to deal with
The aftermath.
the like. Can you fucking wipe this off of me, please? Anybody ever come on your face and like you're just sitting there waiting for them to like
hate that.
help you out because you can't see it?
I really.
That's why I like cream pies, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. Just get rid of it. It's just up there, and I don't have to look at it or worry about it.
Unless you're not using condoms, then it drips back out.
You gotta. Yes, condom usage is smart. We need to as a society.
That's right, because you know what? PrEP doesn't protect against other STIs.
But
Yeah.
PrEP and birth control is a pretty good combination
Yeah.
of
I'm on both.
main.
PSA, use
Main
condoms,
things.
but when you don't, get cream pie, dude.
I feel like it takes the power. Like,
It's the
kind of
best.
to-
It's kind
It's
of
the
fun.
best
it's very
feeling.
fun. I liked that was my favorite part about being in a committed relationship was the cream pies. And like he did nice things for me, and I was still like, no, the cream pies just fucking come in
If
me.
you're gonna do monogamy, do it for the cream pie.
I believe that the Catholic Church coined that, right?
That's what they said. That's actually what they said. If it's
Jesus
not
said
gonna do it for the cream.
on the mount, right? That was part of the
On the
sermon on the mount.
Yeah.
It's actually part
Hey,
of
get it, sermon on the mount, Neil. You like that?
Got puns on
on the
puns.
mount.
Sermon on the
Well,
mount.
'cause you've got the
Ted,
Ten Commandments.
Demon on the mount.
Demon on the
anyone?
mount.
Hey, hey.
Anyway, sexual health is so important. It's
That's
serious. Wait, what were we talking about?
we were talking about sexual education.
Oh, right. What about, so did you have a sex ed teacher or what, how did you do it in your school?
I had a good sex ed teacher. Her name was Miss Burke. She was great. But she was one of those sex ed teachers that was like to the point where she was so graphic that you were just like, I don't need to know all of this. This is a weird one for me. But she would like, she was always just like, okay, guys, they're condoms in the nurse's office. If you want to have sex, you are very much welcome to it. But go get a condom. She was just like this, like,
Go get a
Get
condom.
yourself-
go get a condom. Get yourself a condom. We've got bananas if you want to practice. No judgment.
Did
She
she
was
do a
just-
demonstration?
Of course she did.
On the
This is
banana.
Miss
Oh,
Burke.
love
Yeah.
it.
She just was like,
Yeah, sure. Duh.
she was like, so I feel bad because like the amount of people I know that like had a bad sex education, they're all terrified. Like, I've hooked up more recently. I hooked up with dudes from Muslim backgrounds, and that's always like a very anxious sexual experience because there's no knowledge of like. I don't want to say no knowledge, but I want to say like I know.
So they're fresh out of the religion.
Fresh out of like religious like teachings too, even just like, and then it's the sort of like we have to use a condom, and also when we use a condom, and I have to take it off, and and we can't. There's no foreplay where we're both naked.
No,
that was a thing that happened once. Like he was like, I don't want to get naked until we're actually gonna have sex, and then the second we got naked, he separated himself, put a condom on, and then came back over, and I was like,
interesting.
I was like, okay, and I was like, why is that? And he was just like, no, I just don't want to get you pregnant. And I was like, you're not gonna get me pregnant if you're just naked on top of me.
So
well, I mean, that pre-cum can get anywhere if you think about it.
Yeah,
it's like not as likely, but
not as likely.
It's not likely, but
it has happened.
It has.
But like, I guess if anything,
but if they're not experienced and they're not good at withdrawal, then it could because they're not good at
the pull. Yeah, right.
The pull-out method.
Yeah,
I don't recommend it as a soul method,
but it has worked for thousands of years.
No, that's different. That's when
that's different.
If anything, just religious in general. I will, like any like weird Christian dudes too. They're just like no, like they have no education.
That's what they sound like when they come too.
No.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love a regretful,
like,
shameful. Like,
oh,
not
my
favorite.
To be
doing this.
My favorite is when like a guy like thinks that he's got it covered and he's not gonna come. And he kind of slows down, but then he's like, all right.
I love when they get mad. That's my favorite thing.
Gets away from.
I'm so sorry. That's the one the funniest is when people apologize.
Oh no, I get mad when they could. Maybe again, it's just me. Like I'm with dudes that like they last too long, and it's like almost like like an alpha thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just fucking. It makes me pissed off. I'm like, I'll kegel that shit.
Ooh,
like fucking be done already.
Yeah. Oh,
and then they get mad. It's like, it's like, no, you can't just fuck me forever. I'm sorry.
Right. I'm sorry. This is not a 40-minute venture.
We're adults. You got things to do.
I got shit to do. This has to work again.
I don't want. Okay, wait. What's your secret move to make a quick come happen?
I feel like it depends on the person. I try to I mean, it's obviously easier when it's somebody you've been with before, like you learn, but you can kind of just figure out like like if they say stuff, mirror what they say, but in a way feed it back to them, like even if it's weird, but when you say whatever the thing is, like
people just want to feel validated.
Exactly. That's what I make the guy feel like a real stallion. That's my trick. Yeah. Whether I'm like getting effed or whether I'm like doing a blowy, like if I'm getting effed, I stretch my legs even like farther apart.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I just want it so bad. And then and guys like they are very they say men are not psychological about sex, but they are.
They so are.
If you hype them up, you moan on and you go,
spreading your legs more is such a thing because like especially if they're dominant, it's like this submissive thing. Yeah.
Right. You're just like totally open to like the other person. You're just like, come, this is all here for you.
Yeah. Very you're right. They're very
this Valley of Wonders awaits. There we go. I don't have the same.
We just all make a star together.
Oh my God, it's like a
little bottom circle. I
have short legs.
I saw this on Instagram. It was like 5 gay guys on a beach, and they made a little like star together with their legs spread. They were like summoning.
Oh man, my secret move is just doggy style, just turning around, because then I can also relax.
Yeah, you don't have to be as on. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. I don't like having my face looked at too much during the act of sex.
Are you an eye contact person? No eye contact.
No, not really. No, I'm not big on eye
I don't love it, but I will if it will make them come faster. Sometimes it will.
I had an ex that he wasn't an eye contact person, but you could tell from his eyes how into it he was, and not because he would like get like all sexy eyed, but because he'd do this.
What? Do that again.
Was that like right before he was about to come, or was that like he was like concentrating?
Bug
It
eyes.
was just his like mode. He would just
That's intense. That's great.
well, because like one time when we were in Panama, we did it in the ocean because there were a bunch of people on the beach, and so we just sort of went out far into the ocean, and then like we were like I like had my legs wrapped around him. It was being cute, and then all of a sudden he just went.
And you knew
And I knew.
that's the look.
God love him.
That's a very distinct look. That's
Yeah,
It is
because it's not
distinct.
like
Yeah.
sexy. It's not hot at all, but it's very like needs based.
I don't think anybody. I would dread to look at what my face might look like
when you
I'm-
actually, when you like are into it.
I mean, I'm conscious about it, but I don't ever. I mean, unless there's a mirror around, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
don't
hate
really
the
know
idea
what
of like
look
I have to be making a sexy face right now.
Yeah.
And I don't and then you're like it takes you out of the moment.
Yeah.
But, and I'm such a hypocrite because I don't want anybody looking at my face, but my favorite thing one of my favorite things about like having sex with men is the stupid face. Sorry, I'm spitting. I usually swallow. The stupid is the dumb faces they make when they're having an orgasm. I love that because men are so no offense. Right, there's you know, men can be very wound up and very self-conscious and very like always aware of what they're projecting in terms of a masculinity,
Right,
or,
yeah.
or stoicism, but like men's faces when they're having an orgasm are the goofiest. And I love that. I love watching
Wait.
them lose control and make a
Yes.
stupid face.
For
That to me is
once,
very hot.
just lose
It's hot.
control. That's
Yeah,
what-
just have like a
yes.
moment. Wait, what's the best cum face you've ever seen?
It's like, you know, like you're squinting your eyes and you're like in pain a little bit. It looks like almost. Oh yeah, that I love. That's what I like. You never
Yeah,
look better to me,
most of the
Rachel. You
I'm
with
flirting. I thought we said no
pained
flirting.
face. Is that what? But is that what you look like when you're? What do you look
I
like?
think
when
my cum face is more like this.
that also looks a little pained, a little.
So yeah, the first guy that ever used to make me orgasm, I was like 18, and he was like very consistent with it. And I was like, oh, what is it? And I was like trying to be hot with him. I was like, what does it look like when I come? And he was just like, kind of looking pained, a little upset.
Wait, like the first time you watch yourself on video, like if you videotape yourself,
I've never videotaped myself
You've
coming.
never videotaped
it's
yourself.
I've-
quite
no.
humbling. Like I mean, like you're hot, and I think I'm like we're
You're hot.
building
Oh,
self
shut
confidence.
up.
I feel like I'm like you're like okay, I'm like an attractive like young woman at the time, and then you watch it and you're like, what the fuck? It made me respect porn stars like so much. I'm like, listen, like that's a lot. Angles and lighting. And,
Because I don't know if I want to see myself actually come, but like I've definitely, no, I've never videotaped myself.
Wow, good
Yeah,
for you.
it could be a fun thing to do for yourself.
Yeah.
it could. Well, maybe by myself too.
Yeah, by yourself.
Maybe
yeah.
like wow, I don't know,
right
why-
on your phone. I mean,
especially since like, I think I would want to record myself,
Audio record.
audio record me come, and then send it off. Let it
it's a
be
nice little
known.
treat.
Yeah, right. Because also
For a
like
special someone
what.
or whoever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Are you-
not
are
so
you,
special someone.
Are you a moaner, a screamer, a gasper? What's
Oh!
I do that. I do all of
Okay,
it. I
yeah.
do. I'm like the gamut. I will grunt
hope
like
that didn't blow it
if
up.
it's really good. If I sound like an animal, that means it's good.
Look.
Yeah,
Like,
right. I don't think like every single porn I think does betray like straight men because they all assume that coming is like
Oh yeah,
Why is it that specifically? too?
I don't know. Like I don't get it, but like most orgasms become like guttural.
See, I'm like this. I can be like kind of the light gaspy
Mm-hmm.
moment, but I can be the gutter. Like it just depends because it depends on where the orgasm's coming from. If it's coming from inside the house, then that's the guttural.
It's coming from inside the house.
Yeah, the clit one can be. All
That's a
over the
little more
spectrum.
heady. Yeah, it's like when you whistle tones.
But it can be because then we learn that the clit is like kind of like a spider.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like all inside you. So it just depends on where it hits. I find it so if I get hit in the flood
yeah.
area, that can be very guttural.
Yes. Okay, yeah. And then okay, wait, hold on. So when you have orgasm,
Sure.
prostate?
Oh, very rarely. As
Ooh.
we've spoken about on the pod, I hardly ever get effed.
Yeah, well,
so,
and
yeah.
that's the thing. We
Or are
don't
we
have-
not allowed to say?
Oh no,
I don't. Yeah, you
I
keep
just have
saying
this
F,
complex.
and I'm just
No,
like,
that's
Like,
okay. I just want to make sure before.
Oh no, we can say anything. We can say anything, but I just get very shy about
because your mom listens to it.
because my mom listens to this.
Well, now
This
I'm
is
gonna
one
be
thing
thinking
she
about that
chose
too,
to
then.
pay attention to.
This is the one that she's
Yes,
just like, I'm
yes.
gonna support you.
Yes, this is what she supported me on is my sex podcast. So now she knows.
amazing,
Yeah, I mean, it's cute, but now she knows that I hooked up with a guy from my high school on a folding chair in the basement while she was recovering
she
from
bring it
knee
up?
surgery. Yeah, she brought it up. She was like, "You didn't use that guy's real name," and I was like, "No."
I love that was what she brought up, though, that she was just making sure you were being like
No, she wasn't. She wasn't
respectful
too
of
mad
his
about that. I was.
privacy.
Oh, you know what? Love a mom who supports you.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing.
You know, I'm 42. I'm single. I think she's ready for me to.
Talk about that. I will say, I think my dad would
To
think
have
I was
somebody.
a loser if I was like, because now that I'm in my 30s, both my dad and my grandpa have talked to me about sex.
Mm.
My grandpa's 96.
Ooh.
I
What
didn't
was
need
that
to
sex
know.
talk like?
Well, my grandpa's in hospice, and so he's like got 6 months left, right? And I don't know why this was when he was just like, all bets are off. But we're like hanging out. I brought him his first Chick-fil-A, and I'm just like, oh, is
Never
grandma
too late.
Right, it's never too late. And he's just like, oh, or I was talking to him, I was like, is grandma the only woman you ever dated? Seriously? He's like, well, I have had sex with other women, if that's what you're asking. And I was like, that's not what I'm asking.
That wasn't
At
Grandpa,
all.
but
And then he had
thank you
stories.
for sharing.
And then he was like, well, multiple, actually. And then I was like, don't tell me anything else, Grandpa.
Yeah, he didn't give a fuck anymore.
No,
was
he
like,
doesn't.
Listen,
And God bless him. But like, I'm just like, this isn't a two-way street. I'm not opening up to you. You can open up to me, I guess. But like, yeah, no, I didn't need to know.
That's
But
wild.
I
Yeah.
hope I'm able to do that on my deathbed. Like, I hope I'm just able to like share everything I can think of.
I think you will. There's
Yeah.
nothing about you that says that you're not gonna share.
A shrinking wallflower. No, not Rachel. But I think this is what definitely happens to people as they get older. My uncle, my dad, all of a sudden, they're in their late 60s, early 70s. All of a sudden, they want to talk to me about all the sex that they had. I'm like, oh, okay, now I guess we're having these conversations.
Do they want to talk about the sex that you've had?
No, nobody wants to talk about the sex I've had.
Do you think it's a legacy thing? Like maybe they just want to make sure people. It's like, hey, let it be known.
Just
like,
you, yeah.
No, I fucked. Just so you know.
I used to get it. Okay, like I know that you
God.
just see me as this uncle, but
But I fuck.
It's like my uncle. My uncle used to be really hot and like really hot. And like I know, but he'll like every once in a while like bust out an old picture and he'll be like, check this out. And I'm just
that's why you're having sex dreams about your family.
They're so hot.
Planting seeds
So
and
attractive.
you know.
I'm crying too much on this one. I don't know what's going on.
But so speaking of, I remember last time I went to visit my dad, because my dad was a Rolling Stone. So he had kids with 3 moms, 3 hotties. My dad's a hottie. And then as a joke, the last time I went to visit him, as a joke, I was like, I don't have any other little brothers and sisters out there, do I? And he was like, maybe. Because apparently he had been at this boarding school of some sort with all these like teenage boys. And there was a woman who worked there. And, a couple of the boys had affairs with this woman who then got pregnant and quit and left.
Oh.
And nobody knows whose offspring
Do you mean she got
had.
fired for fucking the
Well-
student?
Yeah.
I'm not
When you say left,
How much of a conscious choice was that? Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder. I mean, we're talking about like the late 1960s in South America
Oh.
at a boarding school. Who knows what the politics?
I was about to say, yeah. That's mired machismo. Maybe that's what she was hired for.
Oh
to
no!
teach people.
sex
To de-
education.
To despunk the
Funk. Like neutering.
that's an education. Yeah,
Oh my God. Okay. So you might have another one.
I might have another little brother or sister.
We
no,
got
big
that.
brother or sister.
We got that we found out way later in life that my abuelito had a kid out of wedlock, and she like hit up my family and was just like, hey, we're related. You want to meet up? And everybody in my family was like, no. No.
Damn.
Ooh.
It's because they're all like conservative. Like he would never do that. It's like, well, Willow cheated on his wife multiple times. So like, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You know what I'm saying?
All of the men in my family
have cheated.
Almost not cheated, but have had children with more than one woman. My family is so splintered for generations. Not even just like my dad. Not even put it all on him. My dad's dad, my mom's dad, and going back, I have like half uncles, half cousins, half sisters, half grand uncles, whatever have you. Yeah, it's a horny timeline.
Just horny Latinos. What the fuck is up with that?
Yeah, we like pleasure.
Men.
Yeah,
I mean everybody likes pleasure.
Everybody, you're right.
Men. I mean, not all men, but a lot of men cheat. So I mean,
that's fair.
Sorry, no
and some
offense,
women
but-
too.
True. No, women absolutely. Women
it's the Latin
absolutely
Americans who are like reinforcing the negative stereotype,
just
and
like-
Rachel's like, well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not that you're Latin. And we're like, no, we're all this way.
definitely-
Sorry, I don't want to take it away from you.
Horny. We fuck so much.
Powerful
just our thing.
sexual energy.
Yeah.
I think men of all ethnicities have a tendency.
To fuck. This is true. Everyone fucks. And
You can buy the children's book. Everyone fucks.
Yo, that's a good idea for the pod. We'll do that.
everyone fucks.
Everyone
And it's a
fucks
little book.
Like, a little
And
book
it's
to read
just
on
like
the show.
every
Little
country in the
pop-up.
world. They fuck in Thailand, and there's just like Angkor Wat, or they fuck
Like a
in
musical
Russia.
greeting card. I
Yes.
don't know why I'm.
Oh, it's like a
picturing-
small world after all. But like,
Oh yeah, like a ride.
With dicks. Except and then they have like little penises next to all of the like
Yes.
wonders of the world.
Oh, you know what? I would go on that ride.
Penile wonders of the world.
And it's on those bicycles that have like the dildo. You ever see the dildo bike when you ride it and it fucks you?
Have you I feel like you'd really want to exercise to use that, right?
I mean, I can't imagine the sensation of moving like through space on a bicycle and you're also
On a
like
dick
fucking
bicycle.
yourself.
I guess if it's a small world ride, it wouldn't be that invasive.
Yeah.
So
Short ride.
Do you have something to add?
Are we? Oh, wait.
I'm gonna cut it real quick, just because I know we're coming in the end.
Okay.
I know it's about sex education.
Right.
Do you guys want to kind of come in for a landing and try to loop it and get there?
We'll
Okay.
get there.
Let's.
No, take your time.
Yeah, let's bring. All right. Let's bring this thing in for a landing. We've learned so much today on this episode.
Yeah.
So I have a sex ed story.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's close it
So
out.
the classic. We got separated like boys and girls
Mhm.
too, and so our female gym teacher taught the girls sex, which she was a lesbian that everybody knew, but like it wasn't official. But
Right.
whatever. But anyway, so I remember like the day. If she ever hears this, Miss S, you were the best. I remember she told us about circumcised penises versus not circumcised
Oh.
penises. And she had I'm pretty sure it was like a Champion sweatshirt. And she was like, yeah, it's not a bit, because like the girls are like, oh, uncircumcised is weird. And she's like, no, it's just like, and we were all dying. I mean, it was like the funniest thing in the entire world. But like then I grew up and she's right. It's like really not that different. Like, and I think of her anytime I've seen an uncircumcised penis. I think of Miss S teaching sex education
That's great.
with her sweatshirt.
Does it ever throw you off?
No, sometimes I've like had a dick in my mouth that I didn't realize was not
Uncircumcised?
circumcised
You can never tell when it's hard.
because it
Is
kind
it
of the
true?
skin peels back anyway, and it looks like it looks like that.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God, I'm so horny. All right, we're dating.
We're dating now.
So Rachel Fogletto, we're dating now.
Do you have anything you want to talk? Do you want to say for people to know, or
Oh, is this like, are we plugging or is this just anything? No pun intended.
It's like a general
plugging,
share with
we're
the class.
pegging,
We're plugging and we're pegging. No, we don't call it plugging. We call it pegging.
Yeah, anything you'd like to share.
About sex. I'm so like too many options. I don't do improv. I'm like, do I need to pick a topic?
Shows about a podcast.
Oh yeah, just at Rachel Fogletto on everything: Instagram, TikTok, website. RachelFogletto.com. Book me for stuff. Pay me for stuff.
And buy your merch. You have merch, right?
I got merch.
And buy the merch.
Buy the merch.
You know what is an amazing idea, Rachel?
What's an amazing idea?
Liking and subscribing
Oh my God, you're very, very right.
to us.
To us at we.r.datingpod on Instagram, and you can find us under that on YouTube as well.
That's right. That's we.r.datingpod, and that's the letter R.
Yeah, that was my bad.
You'll figure it out.
Hey, hold right there. Don't dare skip this. This is an important message. Me and my boy Albert Davis, we want to tell you about our podcast, Seriously Dad. Albert, why should they listen?
Because it's the best podcast in the world. It's by two comedians who are dads, and you know what we're talking about? Being dads. It's called Seriously Dad. Check us out on social media at Seriously Dad Podcast, and
Anywhere you get your podcast, that's where we're at. We're funny. We got some great guests coming our way. We cover the topics you want to hear. Check us out.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.